Welcome to RSSDI TV 2020. I'm Dr. Shahu Ingole and you're watching me on RSSDI TV brought to you by Vocard. Today, I am honored to have with me an eminent personality and a renowned consulting diabetologist and bariatric physician Delhi, Dr. B.M. Makkar sir. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
So, sir, based on your recent talk in RSSDI 2020, which was on DBCD and metabolic flexibility, we would like to know what is DBCD.
Okay, so this is a relatively new concept which was proposed by American Association of Clinical Endocrinology in 2018 November. I think there was a position statement published by my dear friend Jeffrey Mechanic, where they proposed that the whole concept of diabetes is basically part of a continuum. There is a spectrum, there is a spectrum ranging from insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, diabetes, and diabetes complications. So that is what they labeled as a dysglycemia-based chronic disease continuum or DCBD concept. So basically, these four stages along this continuum of insulin resistance, which is the starting from insulin resistance, moving on to pre-diabetes, then to diabetes and the vascular complications. They are not just representing four different stages along this DBCD continuum, but they are also four important actionable, points. Like at insulin level resistance, there is only molecular abnormality. We are not seeing anything. But if we start intervening there, we work on primordial or primary prevention of pre-diabetes and diabetes. Once we have reached the stage of pre-diabetes, then again there is, if we intervene there, we will prevent diabetes and complications. Once we have reached diabetes, we have to focus on secondary prevention of complications and so on. And once we are at the vascular stage, we have to, control those complications and prevent disability. So these are all actionable stages across the spectrum of insulin resistance, and this is basically multi-morbidity disease model based on the spectrum of insulin resistance.
Okay. So, sir, what is metabolic flexibility and how does it is related to the diabetes?
Okay, so metabolic flexibility actually it is not a new concept. It's the concept is there for quite some time. In fact, first it was identified in nematodes, in helminths, where these organisms have a very unique capacity to uh, switch between the aerobic and anaerobic respiration to make their food, and this gives them a unique capacity and versatility to survive in different kind of habitats and different environments. So metabolic flexibility is there at cellular level in human beings also. So what happens is, if you look at the metabolism at mitochondrial level, there are two key substrates that we utilize to produce energy: glucose and fatty acids, right? So once we are in the fed state, we have a lot of carbs available. We have glucose coming to the mitochondria, and mitochondria utilizes glucose in the glycolytic cycle and produces ATP. Once we are in the post-absorptive phase, the glucose levels are falling, the mitochondria switches from glucose metabolism to fatty acid metabolism. And this ability to periodically switch between glucose and fatty acid metabolism, depending on the physiological state and the availability of nutrients, is called metabolic flexibility. What happens in obesity and diabetes? So there is excess nutrients. There is a perpetual supply of nutrients entering the mitochondria, and uh, the choice of nutrient actually is controlled by a very complex mechanism, which I have discussed in the presentation that I'm doing at RSSDI. So to broadly, to in very general terms, I would say that what happens is that once there is excess nutrient supply, there is a continuous supply of glucose and fatty acids entering mitochondria. So mitochondria becomes indecisive. It loses the discretion to switch between uh, glucose and fatty acids as a choice of fuel. So there is a continuous entry into mitochondria of both the substrates, and mitochondria is using a mix of fuels, and it loses the flexibility of shifting glucose metabolism to fat metabolism, from fat metabolism to glucose metabolism. This is a state where there is lot of metabolic abnormality happening and production of free radicals, which ultimately is leading to a lot of changes leading to insulin resistance, dyslipidemia, diabetes, and complications, everything. So this state of inflexibility in the mitochondria, or the loss of ability to switch between glucose and fatty acid metabolism, is called metabolic inflexibility, and this is being seen as the underlying defect which is leading to all the metabolic abnormalities, this insulin resistance and or DBCD spectrum.
So, sir, how these concepts of DBCD and metabolic flexibility is going to help us in the future?
See, if we know diabetes, we started, when I was in medical school, the diabetes meant insulin dependent diabetes and non insulin dependent diabetes. There was no type 1 and type 2, right? So, insulin dependent was type children diabetes requiring insulin, and adult diabetes is non insulin dependent diabetes. It is only during the course of time our understanding has improved, and we know there are almost 12 pathways contributing to development of hyperglycemia, and type 1 is totally different entity, and type 2 is lot of metabolic pathways becoming abnormal, or contributing to development of hyperglycemia. But till now, we don't know what is the common denominator for all these metabolic abnormalities. And metabolic inflexibility is possibly one of the things which will be able to explain all these metabolic abnormalities coming at the level of beta cell or fat cell. And also, metabolic inflexibility is leading to changes in the FOXO expression, which is responsible for de-differentiation of beta cells. Now we know that there is a lot of loss of beta cell function, but beta cell function are not dying. They are becoming de-differentiated, and they can differentiate into null cells or alpha cells also. So there is a intricate mechanism which is involving metabolic inflexibility, changes in the FOXO expression, changes in the gene expressions like PDX1 and ARS, which are responsible for predominantly beta cell characteristics or alpha cell characteristics in the endocrine cell lineage. So, and now it is also being seen that there is a long period of transition from metabolic flexibility to total de-differentiation. And at the ADA, actually, there were two very good lectures. One was by Domenico Eccelli, and other was Roy Taylor, who has given the concept of diabetes remission. So in the remission concept, he has shown that if you make person lose weight and you put them on calorie restricted diet, there is restoration of metabolic flexibility, and there is restoration of de-differentiation. So beta cells are becoming from a less functional or non-functional state to functional beta cells. That's how the beta cell function is improving. So all these are now, again, connected abnormalities, I would say, which possibly are the underlying mechanisms for leading to diabetes and metabolic disorders.
So, thank you so much, sir, for sharing your views on this unique concept in the diabetes and joining us on RSS DI TV brought to you by WOCARD. Thank you so much.
Thank you.